Today, we're going to tackle a huge problem for so many businesses: financial chaos. We're going to break down a system that takes messy, confusing accounting data and turns it into a crystal clear tool that actually helps you see into the future. So let me just ask you this right off the bat. Can you, right now, tell me with absolute confidence what your cash position is going to be next month? How about the month after that? Yeah? For most businesses, the answer is a pretty nervous no. And that's not just a small blind spot, it's a massive source of stress and risk. And here's the fundamental reason why that blind spot exists. Your traditional accounting reports, they're fantastic at telling you where your money has been. Think of them like the rearview mirror in your car, super useful for seeing what's behind you. But when you're driving a business, you need a windshield. You need a clear view of the road ahead. And that's exactly where this system, the Operational Liquidity Control System, we'll just call it the OLCS, comes into play. It's designed to be that windshield. It takes all that historical data and transforms it into a live, forward-looking control tool. So how on earth does it do that? Okay, let's look under the hood. The whole thing is built on this really smart 4-layer architecture. It basically takes your raw data on a little journey, moving it step by step from just a pile of numbers into genuine, actionable insight. So everything kicks off at the very first layer: ingestion. You can think of this as the front door of the system. It's where the raw reports, your aged receivables and payables, are just copied and pasted right in, straight out of your accounting software. Simple as that. And look, this layer isn't trying to be fancy. It's really just a loading dock. There are no formulas, no processing happening here. Its only job is to be the first stop to get the raw materials in the door before they get sent off to the refinery. Okay. Now we move on to layer 1, the structuring engine. And this is where the real magic starts to happen. This is where that raw data begins its transformation from chaos into order. So this is what this system has to deal with at first, a totally typical accounting export. I mean, look at it. It's got extra headers, random subtotals, weird formatting. It's a mess that's hard for a person to read consistently, and it's basically impossible for a computer. And then, bam, this is the result. The system automatically cleans up that disaster of a report and flattens it into this beautiful, clean, perfectly structured table. All of a sudden, every single invoice is its own clear, distinct row, totally organized and ready to be analyzed. All right, so our data is all cleaned up. Now what? Well, it moves to layer 2, which is where the system adds all the crucial business context and operational logic. This is basically the brain and the memory of the entire operation. And this part is so incredibly important. The system actually has a persistent memory. It remembers things like your payment terms for every single supplier. But crucially, it also lets a human take control. So if a customer calls and promises to pay you on Friday, you can just plug that date in, and the system totally respects your real-world knowledge over its own calculation. It's a partnership. Then the control engine, the brain part, gets to work. It looks at every single invoice and automatically flags it with a status. It's a super simple color coding system that immediately tells you what needs your attention, letting you spot potential cash crunches way before they become real problems. And that brings us to the final layer, the output. All that complex work we just walked through, the ingesting, the structuring, the intelligence, it's all designed to boil down to one simple, incredibly powerful result. And this is it. This is the ultimate payoff. A clear, visual, forward-looking view of your cash flow. You can instantly see your expected income versus your expected payments, month by month. This lets you spot those pressure points and make big, strategic decisions with total, complete confidence. So if you boil this entire process down, it really follows this simple but powerful philosophy. You take unstructured operational data, you run it through a structured process, and what comes out the other side is absolute decision-making clarity. It literally turns financial noise into a clear signal. And that's really the big takeaway here. Having this kind of control, it isn't just about dodging financial bullets or avoiding risk. It's actually about unlocking new opportunities. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what amazing decisions could you make for your business if you knew for sure exactly where your cash was going to be weeks and even months from now?